Okay, so this is the third video in our gliding series. So far we've practiced pushing backwards in our gliding. We also then practiced pulling backwards. So we had pushing backwards in video 1, and then we had pulling backwards in video 2. Now for video 3, what I want you to do is start practicing this turned out and turned in position. So what we're going to do is you have your toes pointed out. Now we're not in a ballet class, so I don't see you overstretching here. Just a nice relaxed, casual, regular like V shape with your feet. Now what I want you to do is I want you to lift your heels up and turn your knees in. And everyone say knees in. Super. Now turn your heels out and everybody say knees out. So I want you to practice that a few times. Let's say 10 times. Ready? In, out. Now see the way I'm lifting my heels. In, out, and in and out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and in and out. Okay, super. So just getting that knees in and out. Now a couple other things you can practice to really get nice and fluid in those areas is you can practice the heels. So that was with your weight on the toes. Now what about your weight on the heels? Out, in, out, in, out, in and out and in. Okay, so practice that again 5 more times. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, now what I want you to practice is lift your toes, then your heels, then your toes. Toes and your heels, heels and your toes. Toes and your heels, heels and your toes. Toes and your heels, heels and your toes. Okay, so that's 3 exercises we're practicing to move on with our gliding series. So it is just moving, staying on your toes and moving your heels in and out. It's staying on your heels and moving your toes in and out, and then alternating the two. Toes, heels, heels and toes. Okay, what I'd also like you to practice is just the single leg. So toes, heels, toes and heels. Bring it back in. Heels, toes, heels and toes. Toes, heels, toes and heels, heels, toes, heels and toes. Okay, other side. Remember, dancers do not want to be one-sided. We want to be equally awesome on both sides. So ready, and toes, heels, toes and heels, heels, toes, heels and toes. Toes, heels, toes and heels, heels, toes, heels and toes. Again, toes, heels, toes and heels, heels, toes, heels and toes. Again, toes, heels, toes and heels, heels, toes, heels and toes. Wow, that's a lot of heels and toes. Okay, so practicing them together, practicing one at a time. And all of that is going to start training you up for the next gliding, which we're going to do. It's going to be the sideways glide, which these shoes are not great for doing, but we're going to work on that. So see the way my knees are moving in and out? So we want to be able to get that location where your knees are in at the same time and they're out, as well as using all those different toes and heels actions. So if you can practice for this week, remember to like and subscribe so you know when I drop part 4, so you'll be able to get that sideways glide. So this week's practice is toes to your sweeping foot, then the flat foot to the pulling back, and the links are in the comments or in the description below if you missed these 2 videos. And then today is all about the ins and the outs. There's another one you can practice. 1 heel, 1 toe. We're going to do that one next week. But you can also practice 1 heel and 1 toe. Okay, like and subscribe so you make sure you get part 4 next week. See you then.